Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here once again with Michael the Brave. We're on to part 4, guys. Michael the Brave is kicking butt at the moment. He just got basically 3 kingdoms all to himself to make one giant kingdom. And yeah, he's got basically the rest of the area on notice. I think all eyes are on him to see what he does next. And he has, I guess, his eyes on everybody else to see who wants to take him on. I mean, other kingdoms have got to feel threatened and maybe a little bit worried about the power he has got so soon. So, um, what happens next? I can't see Michael the Brave trying to go for more territory. I think he's got what he wants, and I mean, I don't think he would he try for more? Because I'm thinking at this point he's just going to try and defend everybody off. Because the Ottomans are probably going to come for him, Austrians probably trying to come for him, the Polish probably trying to come for him. So I think he's going to be on the defensive now. Like he's been on the offense. I think now he's going to be on the defense. That's just my feeling. Plus, you know, when it comes to these series, when I like if there was 10 parts right now, like, okay, cool, he's to take over more. But I know it's 5 parts. So usually at the end of these videos, it's the demise of that person because, they usually don't end as he's still going up. They usually stop, when he's at the end of his reign. He's on these kind of series, where it's focusing on one person. So, my prediction is he basically defends everybody off this time. I think he's going to hold his ground. And then if there were 5, I don't know, maybe luck runs out. I don't know. But because I see enough of these videos, too many of these videos it seems to be like the routine, So, but anyway, this is the Battle of Miraslau. Miraslau? Why can't it just be like the Battle of Bob? Like, welcome to the Battle of Bob. At least I can pronounce that and read it. Jeez, these people should know I can't read. But yes, anyways, we're on to the next installment on Michael the Brave, or Mihai the Brave. Woo! Hope you guys are enjoying this series. I really am. Definitely, like never even heard of him and stuff like that. So this is kind of really cool. I actually really enjoy learning all these different time periods and because like for me, like just like Austria and the Poland, me, I didn't realize just how much history and just how big powers they were back in the day. So it's very refreshing to kind of see this stuff.
Big thanks to the Great Courses Plus for partnering up with...
Well, thank you, Great Courses Plus. And remember, like and subscribe, please, please, and thank you. Like and subscribe right below. Yes, please and thank you. Heart, yeah. All that good stuff. Oh my God.
With us on this video.
Here you go.
It's a warm September morning. The town of Miraslau is abuzz as Mihai's soldiers haggle and barter for provisions at the local market.
Miraslau, okay.
But the flurry of activity is interrupted when scouts return with news that a more numerous and better equipped army is just a few kilometers east.
Uh-oh.
On a hill just outside the town, the new king of Wallachia, Transylvania, and Moldavia stands confidently as his troops get into position. The battle that's about to take place will decide the fate of his kingdom.
Wow. Already? Already? Okay. No lead up? What is this? I'm gonna jump ahead here? No. Okay, never mind. Intense. Do it.
By first securing Wallachia's safety against the Ottomans, and then incorporating Transylvania and Moldavia into his new kingdom, Mihai proved he was a quick-thinking general who mastered all of the basics of 16th century warfare.
Right.
He understood the advantages of speed and flanking, attacking an enemy formation from two sides, and he knew how to use the terrain.
I just want to say this. I know one of you guys, I think, mentioned this in the comments on like in a previous video of this, but how the transition basically from like I guess regular gunpowder is kind of like the guns. It's kind of like seems like a transition period because you have cannons, but you don't have like the guns yet, So it's still, I guess, hand to hand combat. There's not that weaponry in yet, and yeah, I think it's kind of cool that that was pointed out because that's definitely very interesting. You got the cannons, but you don't have guns yet, so but we're almost there. So it used to be like before gunpowder, you had the catapults and all that stuff, you know, but now you have gunpowder, and I don't know, just the transition. I think is just kind of really cool, when I watch these videos because whenever I did Napoleon, you had the cannons and you had the guns, and then you go back to like the Romans where there was none. It was basically catapults and stuff, and here it's kind of like basically in the middle, so. Cool stuff, guys. It's cool stuff. Anyways, back to the Mihai.
Attacking an enemy formation from two sides, and he knew how to use the terrain to his advantage.
Yes, he did.
The kingdom Mihai founded did not yet have a national agenda, and still wasn't based on ethnical unity. Rather, by unifying Wallachia, Transylvania, and Moldavia, it is likely that he wanted to establish a new Wallachian monarchy with himself as king, and his dynasty, the Wallachian nobility from his power base in Oltenia, and Wallachian Orthodox clerics as the ruling elite. And while it is somewhat unclear what the name of this new kingdom would have been, it is clear that this was a project of Wallachian elites to expand their power over the neighboring principality.
That's like a spoiler right there, what the name of this kingdom would have been. Like, you're just telling me that this kingdom's about to not last, like he's about to go down. That's basically what he's telling me right now. Like, come on, dude. Deal with the program. Keep it more suspenseful for me.
Project of Wallachian elites to expand their power over the neighboring principalities. But straight away, Mihai's ambitious plans were met with external and internal threats.
Uh-oh, not good.
Externally, the interests of the three neighboring great powers were damaged by Mihai's unification. The Habsburg monarchy wanted control over Transylvania's resources and rich economy. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth wanted Moldavia as their buffer state, while the Ottoman Empire wanted to restore their control over all three principalities. This placed Mihai's kingdom under great threat of foreign intervention, which was amplified by the fact that Wallachia and Moldavia had almost no fortifications or castles, since the Ottomans previously forbade their construction in order to weaken their rulers. In the event of a defeat on the battlefield, there would be no well-fortified cities that could delay an invading army for weeks or even months. Instead, an attacking enemy could quickly penetrate deep into Moldavia and Wallachia in a matter of days.
Wow.
To make matters worse, Mihai's relationship with Rudolf became strained. Although he acknowledged Habsburg overlordship, Mihai began calling himself king and continued to negotiate his official position in Transylvania. Namely, he wanted direct rule instead of being governor in Rudolf's name, and equally claimed the Partium region as the rightful part of his new kingdom.
Damn. I think maybe he's jumping the gun too soon. Like, maybe like go a little slower and be like Rudolph's puppet until like everything's kind of settled down around him, till like the other powers are kind of like comfortable with that, until Rudolph is comfortable, and then after that, then trying like get your inner workings, of trying to get things together to where then you could claim yourself king, like get your castles built up, and I don't know, build your army up more. I don't know. Seems like he's jumping the gun too early. Come on, Michael. Ungrateful bastard, he says.
Region as the rightful part of his new kingdom. This damaged Mihai's diplomatic reputation, and seeing that he virtually lost the support of his only major ally, all three great powers quietly began preparing military interventions against his young realm.
Damn.
Internally, Mihai knew that if he could stabilize the country by integrating the elites of Transylvania and Moldavia, the monarchy would have disposed of considerable economic and military resources, and could become a new, powerful player in the region, capable of resisting Austrian, Polish, and Ottoman interventions. But domestically, he faced yet more problems. He partially merged the Wallachian and Transylvanian councils, although the two governments remained separate, as Mihai did not want to disrupt the successful model of Transylvania's system of government. Moreover, he invited Szekely and other Transylvanian Hungarians to assist in the administration of Wallachia, intending to incorporate Transylvania's far more advanced feudal system. Measures like forbidding drudgery for Orthodox priests shows that Mihai aimed at winning over the elites. In addition, he forced the Transylvanian Diet to relieve Orthodox priests of feudal obligations, much to the Diet's dismay, and gave the Orthodox Church from Wallachia official authority over the Romanian population living in Transylvania, which took more power away from the Diet, causing further frustration. Adding to the tension, in Alba Iulia he founded a new Orthodox metropolis and built a church there. It is very likely that he wanted to gain support of the Orthodox Church hierarchy, and maybe also their financial help. However, he never tried to improve the situation of the Romanian population in Transylvania, which were mostly peasants, many of whom were serfs, as it was fiscally advantageous to continue the present situation in order to help fill the state's coffers. Moreover, Mihai even supported the Hungarian nobility in crushing any and all uprisings that would threaten the tax income of the kingdom. The struggling peasants sent numerous delegations to his court, asking for the revocation of some of the harsh measures. But taxation was nevertheless increased more than 500% virtually overnight, from a fixed 3 florins per family before his reign to 16 florins plus obligatory food deliveries for the army.
Damn, man. I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, man, if you know, like, a war's coming. But damn, like, people are gonna turn on you. That's crazy, man. Just think about the taxes you pay now and times that, multiply that, and it's just crazy.
Unable to pay, many desperate peasants entered into Mihai's service as mercenaries, or simply fled the lands of their lords, which frustrated Hungarian nobles who lost significant tax revenue. Meanwhile, the Szekely's got back their privileges, but the Saxon townspeople were displeased with being forced to provide their ruler with considerable financial loans. The situation in Moldavia was far worse, where local nobles and peasants grew increasingly unhappy as some of Mihai's unpaid mercenaries plundered the land with impunity. With the conquest of Transylvania and Moldavia complete, Mihai's mercenary army again became an unsustainable financial burden, as there were no new military campaigns to be had that could yield the plunder needed to pay the troops. And although the kingdom possessed enough manpower to field a 60,000-strong army, Mihai could currently mobilize only around 15,000 troops, due to the unstable economy and taxation system in these early stages of his reign. Therefore, to protect the kingdom, he had to rely heavily on mercenaries, which he could no longer afford. He attempted to solve the problem by awarding several seized Transylvanian castles and important political positions to mercenary commanders with whom he developed close relationships, as compensation for not being able to pay them and their troops. These commanders and their troops were mostly from Serbia, Bulgaria, and Albania, and they essentially became mercenary warlords who freely oppressed sections of the local nobility and peasantry. Widespread corruption and extortion flourished under their local rule, sowing the seeds of resistance across Transylvania and Moldavia. The Hungarian nobility undertook a revolt to overthrow Mihai with the support from the Habsburg army, commanded by an Italian general, Giorgio Basta. The rebel army marched on the Transylvanian capital, but was soon intercepted.
Alright, here we go.
Although the political situation in Transylvania deteriorated significantly over the last several months, the nobles retained most of their power and were content to accept Mihai as their ruler. But what sparked the revolt were widespread false rumors that Mihai planned to nullify the status of Transylvanian noblemen and turn their estates over to the Wallachian nobility. Due to these rumors, any negotiations were out of the question, and now Mihai watched as the enemy column entered the valley north of the Mureș River.
Uh-oh.
General Basta led the imperial troops, supported by the Hungarian nobility of Transylvania, as well as Austrian and Saxon troops, Flemish knights, as well as contingents of Walloons, French musketeers, artillery, and mercenaries. With around 20,000 troops under his command, Basta had both a substantial numerical advantage and the element of surprise. The sudden and unexpected revolt didn't allow Mihai enough time to assemble his army. Most of his mercenaries were late for the battle, with only Starina Novak appearing with a small portion of his Serbian cavalry, along with a contingent of Cossacks and Sekalis. With only 12,000 troops, and without his best units, Mihai knew that the quality of his troops was inferior to those under Basta's command, and he tried to offset his numerical inferiority by forming a defensive line between the Mureș River and the hills, fortified with ditches and barricades. The Italian general moved into position where his artillery would have range.
Like, damn, I don't know how, like, Michael's getting out of this. Like, he has less troops and less quality troops. I mean, I guess the advantage is in his positioning, but I mean, it definitely looks very grim. You know, I can't see how he can flank him or anything right now. All I can see is them just holding him off, really, trying to hopefully get like a stalemate or something.
And he positioned his best cavalry in the second line, planning to unleash them as soon as cannon fire softened the enemy line. Artillery opened the engagement. For a time, the bombardment was equally effective on both sides. But then, Mihai gave the signal, and a thundering roar echoed from the hills above.
Wow.
Basta seemed stunned as enemy cannons rained down on his position. Hungarian troops closest to the hillside and his artillery contingent immediately took heavy losses.
Wow.
The cavalry in the front apparently began wavering, and Basta ordered them to pull back, realizing he would not be able to dislodge the defenders. With victory seemingly within grasp, Mihai charged after the enemy. Subsequently, the rest of Basta's army began retreating. The cavalry slowly began overtaking the infantry, wanting to get out of range of cannon fire. In battles during this period, most of the casualties were inflicted during the pursuit of the fleeing army. Needless to say, Mihai's men went on an extensive pursuit, sensing the weakness of Basta's troops. But after getting well out of range of the Wallachian artillery, Basta abruptly stopped.
Yeah. I was gonna say like someone was fishy here, like they're gonna get out of range, stop, and reform their army and be ready because Mihai is still quite a ways away right now. Uh, I guess he can turn his own cannons around. I guess we can wait. I guess I should wait till this battle's over.
A flurry of orders and signals were sent out. His cavalry wheeled about, and the infantry took up a defensive formation. What first seemed like a rout turned out to be a feigned retreat. Mihai was in trouble. With his infantry lagging behind, he was caught in the middle of the open valley. The more numerous, better equipped, and more experienced enemy cavalry bore down on his flanks, while the Italian led a frontal infantry charge. The cohesion of the Cossacks on the right was quickly broken by the charge of Basta's heavy cavalry, and they began fleeing the field. Mihai stood defiantly in the face of enemy musket fire, but it was not enough to turn the tide.
Never mind, they do have muskets. I know you guys have probably already commented in the comments that they did have muskets, they did have guns, so my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can delete those comments now. I get it, they had muskets. I wasn't sure. I thought they were just cannons and it was still hand-to-hand combat. My bad. I was wrong. Okay. I feel dumb now.
In the face of enemy musket fire, but it was not enough to turn the tide, and the collapse of his right flank eventually caused a complete rout. Sekeli soldiers surrendered after being assured that they will be set free. However, Basta would later have them all killed. The defeat was catastrophic.
Wow.
4,000 of Mihai's troops perished, and he himself escaped on his horse, swimming across the Muresh River. It is not fully clear why such a proven commander fell into the trap of a feigned retreat. Overconfidence is often suggested as the reason why Mihai gambled away his winning position at Miraslau.
I think so. I think not overconfidence, but I think like he was in dire need of like a big victory. Like he couldn't afford to kind of like wait around. Like he needed a big victory now, and he kind of like rolled the dice and said, "Hey, if I and went after him," and it didn't pay off, obviously. But I don't think it had anything to do with him not knowing, his like inexperience or just a dumb move. I just think he just gambled. I think he knew like his situation. He really needed a victory, and so he was going for it and just crossing his fingers that Bassa didn't turn around. That he could get there in time before they can reform their troops. I just think it was a gamble. That's just my opinion. He was going for it.
As the reason why Mihai gambled away his winning position at Miraslau. Another possibility is that because his kingdom was threatened on all sides, he understood that he needed to inflict as many losses on the enemy and achieve a quick victory in order to deal with threats arising elsewhere.
Exactly.
Whatever the case, the fallout of this defeat would soon cause panic within Mihai's regime. But despite being forced to retreat into the mountains, the cunning Wallachian would live to fight another day.
Yeah, like how you said it, the cunning Wallachian.
If you enjoyed the video and you like going in-depth about various history topics, I highly recommend the great courses.
I highly recommend you subscribe to History March as well because they're an amazing channel. Wow, dang, like when I seen the cannons on the hill, that definitely surprised me. The cannons on the side, and it definitely gave me like Hannibal vibes when I seen that. But I didn't. I thought once I seen it, I was kind of like, okay, he's got a chance here, that's gotta be, man, ruthless, getting shot from cannons on the side. But as soon as they started like the retreat, like I knew something it wasn't going to end that. It was just too simple just for them to catch up to them around them, and it seemed like too much distance. I mean, if it was a shorter distance between them and he can get to them quicker, yeah, I think he could have had them. But yeah, once I guess the experience, had experienced troops and everything, they got turned around and just got them. They got on gamble, didn't pay off, but they seemed excited there at the end. There, live to fight another day here. So I'm definitely curious on. Let me see here. I'm sorry. Yeah, it just there's like so much space here, but yeah, it definitely it's the last episode. I wonder how this goes down. Does he? He's Michael the Brave, and so does he go down fighting now? I have no idea. Does he go down fighting, or do they capture him and they execute him, or do they exile him somewhere? I mean, it's got to be one of the three, right? You know, he's not just gonna like retire back in his villa or something like that. So uh, definitely, I'm kind of curious. I'm expect what's the next episode called? Let me get out of here. Can't see. There's part 5. Battle of Grusso Final Victory. It's only part. Is this series even ended? Yeah, this video is from like over a year ago. Final Victory. Hmm. It makes me think my thoughts are he gets a really good victory and then negotiates like I'm not going to win this war. Negotiate something to where he doesn't die or something. So that yeah, I'm hopeful now that he doesn't die next battle or gets executed. I'm hopeful now that he's able to come to some kind of truce. Maybe he just keeps one little part of land or one. I don't know. He goes back to the original Valachia. He doesn't have that big kingdom. He gets that small kingdom. Kind of thing. I don't know. Damn, I'm really interested to see how this plays out now. Because it makes me really think now. His final victory, like, because there would be a part 6. If you think there'd be another, the last part would be him, losing and all that. Excuse me, all that stuff. Unless he has his final victory and there's a battle right afterwards. I mean, I guess that could happen. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Well, anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this episode. Would you think that Michael the Brave? Do you think he gambled too, or made too much confidence? I don't think there was too much confidence. I just think he knew the situation he was in. But definitely another entertaining video, like going by pretty fast. I guess videos go by pretty fast. So, but these length videos, I think are like the perfect length, though. Like 20-minute videos. Like 15 to 20-minute videos. I find like the perfect length. But anyways, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button below. And I know if you're still listening to me right now, you're going to be excited and looking forward to part 5. Final victory, guys. We got to watch it. We got to see what happens. I know 99% of you already probably know what happens, but it's got to be 1%. Yeah, if you're in the comments and you're kind of watching along with me and haven't seen the original video, definitely let me know too. So anyways, guys, like, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. You guys are amazing. Hope you guys have a great day, great night, all that fun and amazing stuff. But I'm gone. Yeah, peace. You guys have an amazing night.